Manmohan Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhu, for joining regularly, giving your sweet association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasni Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your sweet association. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna, is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead. Mataji will start the recording. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga Conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of shift arrival of Lord Rama. So this is a topic for today. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today. 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So Krishna plus everything is Vrindavan. Do not forget Krishna and you shall always be in Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, January 24th. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for your valuable time and association this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Lord Rama. I am very happy, Prabhuji. Rama means Haridas Varya Prabhu and Preeti Vilasni Mataji, for me especially.
Yes.
Okay, I am very happy to hear from you today, Prabhuji. I'm very grateful to you. Hare Krishna, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Am I audible? Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Is voice modulation? Sometimes some devotees say it's a little less. Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, perfect.
Okay, perfect. So just give me 1 minute. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. First and foremost, thank you so much, Preeti Vilasni Mataji, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, and all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak on this very wonderful week where the festivities are galore and the spirit and enthusiasm to welcome Lord Ram in our hearts is happening in each town and village. Every town and village, every single individual is rejoicing on the arrival of Lord Ram in Ayodhya in his own temple, which has been due for the last 512 or 48 years. So we are very fortunate to be witnessing all these in front of us. And I consider myself very fortunate to speak some words about Lord Ramchandra. So I thank each and everyone for your humble presence here, because opportunities and lectures, there are many, many in nature. And you have dedicated your time and your attendance here to inspire me to speak some words about Lord Ramchandra. So before we start, we will do the mangalacaran. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Shakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dino Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhana Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namahum Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminate Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kujantam Rama Rameti Maduram Maduraksharam Aruhya Shakham Mande Valmiki Kokilam. Apadavattaram Dadaram Sarvasambatam Lokabhiramam Sriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamiham Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sita Yahapate Namaha. Buddhirbalam Yashodhairyam Nirbhayatvam Arogada Ajatyam Vakpadatvancha Sri Hanumat Smaranam Bhavet. So welcome each and everyone to this August presence of this lecture, which is titled as the swift arrival of Lord Ram. So over the past few days, spoken by very erudite scholars and Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, they have been speaking about the beautiful katha of Ramayana. And they have been speaking different aspects of Lord Ramchandra and Mother Sita's pastimes. So on the first day, we saw Rama Janana. That means how Prithvilasini Mataji, she covered about the various aspects of how Lord Ramchandra took appearance in Ayodhya for Dashratha and Kausalya and for the pleasure of all the devotees. Yesterday, we saw Adi Gadadhar Prabhu speak extensively about Sita Kalyanam, which are these both are part of Balakanda. So assuming that Balakanda is complete, so we will proceed further to Ayodhya and Aranya, and finally we'll come to the swift arrival of Lord Ramchandra today. Of course, I ask my humble apologies that I'm not as erudite as a scholar like the previous devotees, but I'll try to do my level best to glorify the Lord and speak some verses from the scriptures of Acharyas so that it will always enlighten us and encourage us towards reading Ramayana and relishing Ramayana. So one of the beautiful shlokas which always comes into my mind when we recite Ramayana is how beautiful or how astonishing is Ramayana in itself and its characters. So one has to really sit back, enjoy, and really marvel at the astonishing characters who are there in the Itihasa called Ramayana. At the same time, I encourage everyone who is listening today, please give a rapt attention. And I would request, my humble request would be to open the doors of your vision from the heart so that we can relish some of the nectarian droplets of Ramayana. So this verse that comes to my mind is Sundare Sundari Sita, Sundare Sundari Rama. Sundare Sundari Sita, Sundare Sundaram Rama. Sundare Sundaram Kavyam, Sundare Sundaram Mantram. Sundare Sundara Hanumadja. Sundare Sundaram Mantram. Sundare Kimna Sundaram. So there is a lot of words called Sundara. Of course, we have a Kanda in Ramayana itself called as Sundara Kanda, where it says the most beautiful, the most wonderful, the most magnanimous Kanda, which is recited by many, many devotees out of the all 6 Kandas. And we know very well why it is called Sundara Kanda because of many, many reasons. One, Hanuman was originally, his name was called as Sundara because he was very beautiful for his mother, Anjana. So the Kesari Nandan, the son of Kesari and Anjana, he was not named Hanuman at first. He was named as Sundara because he was very darling child of Mother Anjana. And he is also Vayuputra. We have seen that. And Another reason why it is called Sundarakanda is because Hanuman traveled all the way, jumped over the ocean, and reached the other side and met with Mother Sita. So, two great devotees meeting each other, they will be always talking about the Lord, Pushyanticha, Ramanticha. So, because of that, also it is called Sundarakanda. But here the poet says, Sundare Sundari Sita Sundare Sundaram Rama. So, here the poet says that it is not that only Sundarakanda is Sundar or it is beautiful. Every part of Ramayana is very beautiful. Why? Because it has Mother Sita and it has the narrations of Lord Ramchandra. The Itihasa of Ramayana itself is beautiful, and when compared to Mahabharata, it is considered much better because Mahabharata talks about many, many different topics. Whereas Bhagavad Gita, which is the most important topic, is right in the middle. However, it talks about Shantanu, it talks about Yajnavalkya, it talks about many other kings. It talks about Bhagirath, it talks about Ganga, it talks about Duryodhan's 100 sons, the 100 brothers, it talks about Dhritarashtra, it talks about Kuru Vamsh, it talks about Bhishma. So the Bhagavad Gita message is somewhat like in a voluminous epic. The big Gita, the 700 shlokas out of 1,25,000, though they are very wonderful, they are in very minute quantity. So one has to really scourge through all those verses and reach to the conclusion, the most wonderful nectarian part of Mahabharata, which is the Bhagavad Gita. However, Ramayana, 24,000 verses, every part of it is nectarian because every now and then it is describing about the devotees and the Lord. So there is more direct connection with the Lord and his devotees when we speak about Ramayana. So it is beautiful. Additionally, it is also beautiful because Sundare Sundari Sita, Mother Sita is most beautiful. And along with her is the beautiful Rama, whom you can see behind me, how wonderfully he is decked up and how wonderfully he carries the Kodanda. So once a devotee asked, how beautiful is Lord Ramchandra? Can somebody tell me how beautiful he is? So the poet Kamban, he gives a very wonderful verse in Ramayana to describe about the beauty of Lord Ramchandra. That verse is right in front of you right now. I know many of you do not read Tamil, but do not worry. Our efforts is to understand and relish all languages in such a way that wherever Lord Rama is being mentioned about, we would try to understand and relish them. So I know many of you are not speakers of Tamil, and even the Tamil which is presented by Kamban here is old Tamil, right? And it is very difficult for someone to read through. But I know the Bollywood culture, that it has prevalent. Even the Hindi speaking audience know one word out of this entire list of words, which is very, very close to them. So can anyone tell me, by reading these words, of course, these are difficult words, one words which strikes them, which they know that, oh, this is used in South India?
Ayyo. Is it Ayyo, Prabhuji?
Yes, absolutely right. See, Mataji has got it absolutely right. This word, Ayyo. And is it used in a nice sense or a bad sense, Mataji?
Sometimes it is used as a bad sense.
Yeah.
Here, it used in a nice sense, Prabhuji. It is whatever is beauty,
yes.
no?
Yes. So mostly this word Ayyo is actually like alas. It is used for a bad sense. But here, Kamban uses this word. So let's just look at this verse, which is very wonderful. I'll just read the verse, and it's in front of you. Veyon oli tanmenil virichodin maraya, poyo yenum idayoladum ilayonadum ponnan, mayo, maragadamo, marigadalo, malay mugilo, ayyo, even vadivu, en bador aliya lakudaya. So this is a very beautiful verse, and I know many of you will not catch the meaning. So let me break it down. So the first line talks about how Lord Ramchandra is entering the forest of Aranyakanda. So in Aranya, he is entering the forest of Dandakaranya. And here is where I request my devotees, please open the eyes of your heart. Please open and please try to visualize this particular verse. Lord Ramchandra, he is entering into the Dandaka forest. And Kamban is saying this, Veyyon olitan menil. The streaks of sun rays are peering through the dense forest of Dandaka. Now, Dandaka was an ancestor who was coming in the Raghukula dynasty, but he was not very just in his reign. So he was banished to the forest. And in the forest, he had a lot of atrocities. So once he committed a great sin against Shukracharya's daughter, whose name was Araja. So Shukracharya gave a punishment that Dandaka, wherever you stay, that place will entirely submerge in sand. And it will be very barren and it will be a dense forest. Nobody can survive there. So even all the demons, they ran away from Dandaka and they used to stay at a place called Janasthana, which is where we know that Kara and Dushana were vanquished. So this Dandaka was the place for all the sages to come, because where there are no demons, where their devotees are very happy. So they used to perform their meditations there. So this is such a dense forest, and Lord Ramchandra is walking into the forest. And what is the formation? Lord Ramchandra is right there in the front. In the middle is Mother Janaki, and in the end is Lakshmana. This is the formation in which they are walking. This was not the formation they walked when it was in Ayodhya Kanda. In the Ayodhya Kanda, Mother Janaki, that is Mother Sita, was right up front. Lakshman was in the middle, and Lord Ramchandra was tagging behind both of them. Now, one devotee asked, why is it so? Because in Ayodhya Kanda, they were going to meet a lot of sages, nice sceneries, forests, fruits, animals, rivers. So these are pleasurable components that a devotee should be always associated with. So the Lord felt that my children, like Lakshman, Mother Sita, who are playing the part of Guru and also Jivatma. I'm not saying Mother Sita is a Jivatma. I'm saying they are playing a part. They are playing that anomaly or an analogy that if we take, the Acharyas say, the Lord kept both of them in front so that they could enjoy the pleasures and meeting devotees, let them get all the benefits, and he will come behind. Why? Because when you meet devotees, when you meet the wonderful forest, and when you meet the sages, the Lord is already achieved. And he is a cause and an effect which happens when you meet with devotees, they discuss about the Lord and the Lord is achieved. So in this case, in Aranyakanda, the Lord said, you guys go back, I will go in front. And the reason is he wanted to meet with the demons. And he knew the demons are coming. Shurpanaka is coming, Kabanda is coming, Viradha is coming, Haradushana are coming, Akampana is coming. So he knew that all these people will attack. So he said, let me face the adversities and let the devotees, my children, let them not face the adversities. This is our munificent Lord. So this is the formation that they are entering into the forest, and Kamban is capturing that very well. He's saying Lord Rama is walking in. And while he is walking in, the streaks of beautiful sun rays are falling through that dense forest, and it is falling on his forehead. Veyon means the sunlight. Oli means the sunlight. Tanmenil, it is hitting his forehead and it is hitting his skin. And how is it looking like? And it is falling on such a dark, it is already a dark, dense forest where the sunlight is very little, but this one ray of sunlight is coming and hitting the Lord, and it is saying, Virijodi in Maraya. It is as if the whole sun is rising, and in front of that, if you bring a candle, the light of the candle, the effulgence of the candle cannot be seen that well when it is in front of the Lord. But here, who is the candle? The candle is the sunlight. The Lord is so effulgent. The Lord is so bright, even though he's in those tree bark clothes and he's having a jata on his head. He's so wonderfully bright that those sun rays which are falling through those particular leaves, and like a god light, it is falling on his forehead. it is somewhere not even to be seen, because the Lord is more effulgent than those sunlight. And Poyo and Idayavoladam, behind her is a very slender waisted mother Sita. She's so wonderful. She's so beautiful. But in a split second, he mentions about Mother Sita, but then he goes back. Let me go back and talk about the beauty of Lord Ram. Ponnan Mayo. And he starts comparing. Now I have to give analogies of how the Lord is in front of me. So first he uses the word Mayo. Mayo means, can anybody tell what is the product that you see on the screen right now? What is this? Anybody knows?
Smoke.
Sorry?
Smoke.
Kajal, Prabhu.
It's kajal.
Kajal.
Very, very correct. And where is this used, Mataji? Matajis know this the best.
The eyes.
For the eyes. This is the kajal, or it's called the kohl, not the Koal, Kohl. It's called the kohl or the kajal, which is applied on the eyes. And generally it is seen that when the Matajis apply it on the eyes, and even Krishna applies it on his eyes, and his eyes are as long up to his ears. In fact, Andal says that the Lord's eyes are so big that he is holding his Shank and Chakra. The eyes go up to the extent of Shank and Chakra. So you can imagine how long are the lotus petal eyes of the Lord. So the kajal, which is dark in color and it is applied on the eyes, the Lord's feature and color is like that. We all know that Lord Rama is green in color. That's what we normally say. But Kamban here says, no, let me compare his colors. At one angle, when I see his color, he's looking like this black, beautiful color. Mayo. But then he says, no. I will not compare him with this color. You know why? Because all you Matajis know, sometimes when you apply this kajal, if it has some dust or it is a little old, what happens to your eyes? Experience Matajis can mention.
It irritates. It starts tearing up.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. It starts irritating. You get a red eye. You start shedding tears. So Kamban is thinking, I can't compare him to this. I can't compare the Lord to the color of a dark Anjana or the dark kohl or the dark kajal. Because sometimes this kajal provides irritation, but I have no irritation seeing the beautiful form of the Lord. Lord Rama is so beautiful. Ram Lalla is so beautiful. So I don't want to compare him with this. Then he says, Maragadamo. So easy like the green precious Maragada jewel, which you can see out here, like the emerald, the green emerald. And what is the propensity of this green emerald? It is greenish in color. And when a person looks at it and possesses it, its quality is that it gives a lot of cool and shade. And it cools down a person, keeps a person calm. And he immediately thinks, I cannot compare this also to Lord Ramchandra. Why? Because he is entering the forest. Now he is going to vanquish the demons. How can he be cool? He was cool when he was said Purusha Vigraham by Mother Sita. He said, you are just a woman in a man's body. You are not even a man. But now he's going to show his valor to Khara and Dushana. So I don't think so that I can compare him. He's not so cool right now. He's going to be the god of death himself before Khara and Dushana. So Maragadamo doesn't make any sense. And he said, let me look at him at a different angle. And he goes in his mind and he looks at him and he says, Mari Katalo. And what do you see, Matajis or Prabhujis?
The
Water?
ocean.
The
Water.
ocean. So
The
easy
ocean.
actually.
The sea.
Yeah. And what is the color of the ocean that you see here?
Blue.
Blue. So he says, oh, when I look at it from this angle, that sunlight falling on Lord Ramchandra is making him look blue in color. So he might be actually bluish in color. And Mari Katalo. Katal means ocean. And he's saying he might be beautiful bluish color, and I can see that shine. And just like the sun, when it falls on different parts of the ocean, it goes light blue and darkish blue. As he moves through the land, and as that sunlight falls through different parts of the leaves, and as there is a displacement on the ground, the light also reflects across different parts of the leaves, and it gives different shades of blue. So beautifully he's saying. But then he says, no, I cannot even mention him as he's bluish color. Why? Because I can't compare him to the sea. What is the problem with the sea? You all need to be turning into poets now. What is the problem with the sea? What is the one problem with the sea?
Waves.
Waves. That's not a problem. Sometimes waves are good. Between the beauty and the beauty, the
Salt.
salty, very correct. Mataji is right. So the ocean water is salty in nature. It's not sweet. But when I look at the form of the Lord, it is so sweet, and this color is so sweet. So I cannot use the analogy of even comparing him to the ocean water. Then he says, Malai Mugilo, our favorite example, Ghanashyam. As if the rain clouds are forming, because I have seen black, I have seen tinge of green, I have seen blue, and now I'm seeing that light when it falls, I'm seeing that he's actually Ghanashyam. He's looking like the fresh rain cloud. But he says, no, I cannot compare with the fresh rain cloud. Now, what is the problem with the fresh rain cloud? Even Krishna, we compare him to the fresh rain cloud. But what is the problem with the fresh rain cloud? Anybody? What's the problem with the fresh rain cloud? Now we all need to turn poets, and how the poets think. And this is how great devotees think. Anybody?
They keep moving.
Absolutely right. They keep moving, but that's not a problem, because Lord is also moving. He's seeing. They appear sometimes, they don't appear sometimes. They are very seasonal in nature. They are sometimes in front of him, and sometimes they are not. But here, constant vision we are getting, because he's in the Aranya Kanda and he's walking. So he's saying, Veyo noli tanme nilvirijodiya mareya, poyo yanamidayo ladamilayo nadam pondan, mayo, marakatamo, marikadalo, malai mugilo. I can't compare him to anyone. Ayyo, I don't know. Ayyo, he says, alas, I don't know. Even whatever, he's so beautiful. He's so beautiful. En Bador Ali Alagurayan, along with Lakshman, he's looking so beautiful. So he uses the word Ayyo. So this is the beautiful representation of just one verse where Kamban is saying, I cannot describe the beauty of Lord Ram. I am losing words, and I'm using words which are not supposed to be said. And somebody asks after this lecture, how was this lecture? And somebody says, Ayyo. Now we don't know what is going to come after that. It was a torture, or Ayyo, it was so good that I was relishing. So sometimes the words, when you use Ayyo, it can be used as positive or negative in itself. So like this, Lord Ramchandra, he was in Aranya Kanda. That is why it is said, Sundare Sundaram Ramam. Coming back to the verse, Sundare Sundari Sita, but Sundare Sundaram Ramam, how Sundara is our Lord Ramchandra. Sundare Sundaram Mantram, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, is so wonderful and Sundara. Sundare Sundaram Kavyam, the beautiful poetry of Lord Ramchandra, which is Ramayana, is very wonderful. Konasmin Sampratam Loke, Gunavan Kasya Vidyavan. Who is a personality who is having all resplendent beauty, character? Everybody in this contemporary world asks Valmiki, Sundare Sundaram Kavyam. He has mentioned this Kavya so wonderfully well. And it is very beautiful. And then it says, Sundare Sundaram Hanumad, the beautiful servant of the Lord. He is also beautiful. His acts are beautiful. His jump is beautiful. Sarva Ishta Nivarakam Shubhagaram Pingla Shamapakam. You can actually imagine how Hanuman actually jumps from one place to another. Sarva Ishta Nivarakam, Shubhagaram, Pingla Shamapakam, Sita and Veshna, Tatparam, Kaviparam, Kodin the Surya Prabham, Lanka, Deepa Bayankaram, Sagalabam, Sugriva Sammanidam, Devenda, the Samasta Devanidam, Kakastutam Bajayata, Sri Ramaduta, Pavanatanu Pingla, Hashikavan, Sita, Shoka, Pahari, Dashamuka Vijay, Lakshmana Prananatha, Manedam, Bechadre, Helamana Jalanide. Langane Deshadoro Yakavira Shriman Hanuman Mama Manasi Vasankari Siddham Tanodu. Can actually imagine how he's flying like a sonic boom from one place to another. Sundare Sundara Hanumat Jaja. Sundare Kimna Sundaram. The poet is asking, please tell me which part of Ramayana is not Sundara. So all part is so beautiful that one can take one verse and relish for time immemorial be on that verse. So such beautiful Lord, he is actually now in the Yuddha Kanda. And in the Yuddha Kanda, he is on the final battle. And he has to face Ravana, the Dashanana. And he's so beautiful. Lord Ramchandra is so beautiful that one day when when Ravana, the demon king, he was actually fighting, there were so many showers of arrows which were sent by Lord Ram standing on the ground. Nobody knew that when he took his arrow, when he kept the arrow, and when he shot. And if you see in the behind picture, you see some bells which are there on top of Lord Rama's bow. And even this is significant. You see, there's not one bell. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each bell will ring when a particular amount of demons are slayed. When around 1,000, 2,000 demons are slayed, the first bell will ring. And when another 2,000 is slayed, the second bell will ring. Like that, when he keeps killing the demons, sending them to the abode of death, the bells will ring. And Valmiki and Kamba Ramayana says those bells were ringing non-stop for 4 hours. So you can just imagine if they are just ringing for 4 hours continuously, 4 hours or 48 minutes, I do not know. But some Naikas that they say that it was constantly ringing. Such fierce was the fight that he sent so many arrows to Ravana that Ravana was completely defeated. And he became unconscious. He fell down in his chariot, and the charioteer thought that today the king of Lanka is going to be vanquished. His life air is going to be snatched by Lord Rama. So let me flee with him from the battlefield. So he drove his chariot in such a way that he took away the king of demons, Ravana, Dashanana, away from the battlefield. While all the monkeys were chasing, but he drove so swiftly that the Ravana, was completely unconscious in the back of the chariot, and he drove expertly and took him to a secluded place. There he removed the arrows, sprinkled water on him, and of course he had to sprinkle a lot of water. It was not on one face that he had to sprinkle on all the 10 faces. And all the 10 faces came up, opened itself at different times. Imagine, you keep on showering water on each of the face, and one eyes are opening, another is not opening. You are slapping on one cheek, the other cheek you have to slap. Ravana is not waking up. And when all the 10 heads of Ravana, they woke up, and he thought that he's dead. But he saw his charioteer in front of me, and he saw that it is a peaceful place. It doesn't look like a battlefield. And he said, where am I? Where have you brought me from? He said, today the battle was very fierce and you fell unconscious, my lord. So I wanted to bring you out of the battle. Ravana chastised the charioteer, left, right, and center. He said, why did you bring me out? He said, I want to go back into the battle. The charioteer was very obedient to his master, who was Ravana. He said, oh master, please look at the bruises that you have got. You're bleeding from all ends. How can I take you back? He said, I don't want to go and fight. Did you see when he was showering those arrows on me? Each one of those bow, when he just lifted, took the arrow and shot at me. Did you see his beauty? He was beautiful. I have never seen a beautiful warrior like the one whom I saw today. Here is Ravana, who has abducted Mother Sita, who wants to vanquish Rama, standing and appreciating the beauty of Lord Ramchandra. Sundare Sundaram Rama. One of the beautiful qualities of Lord Ramchandra is that even the enemies, they lovingly appreciate him. Shurpanaka appreciated the Lord Ram. And she said, that personality, who is so beautiful, broad shoulder, Ajanulambita, his hands are extending up to the knees. They look like Devatas. They look like the king of the Devatas. No, they look like Vishnu himself of Vaikuntha, who have come down. And they have broad shoulders, a very gym physique body, very attractive to look at. If I look at his eyes, it's as if Cupid has shown all the mercy on them. In fact, no, Cupid cannot show. In fact, he has shown mercy to the Cupid, and he is Cupid himself. Kara and Dushana were getting very, very irritated. That's all okay, but please tell me what happened to you. That personality who is so beautiful, and so beautiful, they chopped off my nose and ears. Can you imagine somebody complaining about someone like this? Imagine going to a police station and writing a first information report about somebody assaulting us, and the first 4 pages are only about their beauty. How beautiful the person was who assaulted me, who gave me a cut nose and a cut ear. This is Shurpanaka. Akampana, who was left from the battlefield of Janasthana, he ran and spoke how great was Lord Ramchandra. So Ramchandra has this in his retinue. Ramchandra has it in his CV that even the enemies worship him. So Lord Ramchandra, on the last day, he mounted the chariot, because this chariot was sent by Narada, told Indra, please give the chariot now. This is your time to serve. And Matali came with the chariot and requested the Lord, this is sent by Indra. Lord said, okay, fine. He said, please alight this chariot. And he alighted the chariot. He onboarded on the chariot. And Lord Ram was standing with his Kodanda, and he was looking at Ravan, and he told Mitali, go. And the first statement was, go ahead. At that time, what happened? The chariot went 3 meters behind. And Ram was perplexed. Here is an instruction which is given that please go ahead with the chariot. I want to meet him face to face and kill him today, because he is tormenting my devotees and the Devatas. And this is my vow that I will kill Ravana today. And that Lord Ramchandra, when he mounted the chariot, it went 3 meters back. He asked Matali, what is the problem? Is the front gear not working? Is the front gear, first gear, second gear not working? Why is it the reverse gear? Matali said, this is the default position of this chariot. What is the default position of this chariot? The default position of this chariot is Indra, whenever he enters the battlefield, normally he first tells me, takes the reverse gear and tries to flee from the battle. This is his cowardice. So by default, I start the car in the reverse gear. I start the chariot in the reverse gear. Rama said, not anymore. Today, this chariot will first time test. The pilot testing will be done. That is why Andal said in Tirupavai, Midali in Munper, that he said Mitali for the first time, he tested his first gear and started driving the chariot up in front. And Lord Ramchandra was fiercely battling with Ravan. And he used the Brahmastra and he killed Ravana. And after killing Ravana, Mandodari came running and she also started praising. Can you imagine? Her husband is dead on the ground. She started praising Lord Ramchandra that what you did was right. And you're very beautiful. And you can only bring all auspiciousness. So in this way, Lord Ramchandra defeated Ravana. Then came Dasharatha from the heavenly skies and he asked, what boon do you want, my son? Lord Ramchandra said, all these Vanaras, they actually fought along with me. So can you please give them back their life? So Dasharatha gave the boon. Other sages gave the boon. And all the Vanaras who lost their lives, they came back. So this is a great learning. Sometimes we feel that we have lost many things in our service to the Lord. But the Lord ensures that whatever we have lost, we get 100 times more than that, which is of course his service, but even materially, he gives back so many things. So Dasharatha said, don't put Sita through all these Agni Pariksha. Now you please go back. You please go back now. Your time is up. You have completed your 14 years. Then Lord Ram said, yes, it's time for me to go back. Not because you are saying, Father, because I made a promise. I made promise to my own brother, who is Bharata. And Bharata is in Nandigram. He is constantly worshipping the Padukas. And he had told me that if I don't arrive on this particular day at this time, he will jump into the funeral pyre. So the great Kamban mentions how Bharata was serving Lord Ram. He was taking the burden of everybody's curses on his head. And it was not his fault, but he was saying that it is my fault that my brother went away from this kingdom. Lord Rama doesn't want to see me. Let me worship his Padukas. And every day he used to take a cold bath in Sarayu, get stone pelted on him by Ayodhya Vasis, and he used to do Abhishek of Sarayu to the Padukas. With the Sarayu water, he used to do Abhishek to the Padukas. And he used to take Charnamrit, and he used to be in deep meditation. Shatrughna used to constantly serve him, take care of Bharata. And here they were constantly looking at the sun, looking at the time, waiting for that moment when Lord Ram will arrive. 14 years, they could not bear their separation. What to speak of 548 years or 514 years? That so many devotees have waited for Lord Ram to come back to Ayodhya. So Bharata is there, he is waiting, and Lord Ram says, I need to go now. And Vibhishana says, I can serve you in that. There is a beautiful Vimana called the Pushpaka chariot in my kingdom. And it can expand as much as your mind would like. And you can alight on it and it will travel at the speed of mind. Ram says, now I think I can do it. So he onboarded the chariot. The Pushpak Viman was summoned. It came. And he looked at Sita. And Sita was looking at all the Rakshasis. Trijata came and she started crying in front of Sita. She said, I have served you. I have tormented you. He said, why don't you come as well? He said, no, I have to take care of things here. She said, I will miss you. Hanuman wanted to vanquish all the Rakshasis, but Mother Sita said, no, leave them. I have given them the shelter. So this is Mother Sita's special mercy. This is the internal potency. She bestows special mercy. And all the Vanaras were looking. We fought our lives for this beautiful couple, and now they are enjoying in a royal palace. They are going to enjoy in a royal flight. They are in business class. We have to come walking all the way to Ayodhya. When will we reach? Ram said, why don't you guys all jump aboard? The Pushpak Viman expanded. Everybody jumped on top. And Lord Ram said, let's go. Let's travel swiftly. And Pushpak Viman started flying. Mother Sita started looking. This was the first time she was smiling. Looking at the Vanaras, they were holding on to their mukuts. They were holding on to their tails because the speed of the aircraft was so fast. But Mother Sita, after a long time, she chuckled and she peeped over the balconies of Pushpak Viman. And at that time, Lord Ramchandra said, look, this is the Setu where I came. This is where Sampati was met. This is the place where we did the first coalition government in the entire world that they have seen with Sugriva. This is where the friendship pact was made. This is where the ashrams were. This is where the Wali was killed. Mother Sita said, pit stop number 1. I want to get down now. She said, what happened? We have to reach to Bharata. She said, no. Look at the faces of these monkey Vanaras. They're all thinking, looking at their kingdom. They're thinking, oh, we are all going to the party, but our better halves, best halves are not with us. So take a pit stop and let's bring entire family of the Vanaras. So the message was sent that Matajis of the Vanaras, please quickly assemble. And that quickly made 40 minutes, 50 minutes. And of course, there was a delay. It was understandable because they had to get deck up for the party, which was the coronation, which was going to happen. And while these Vanaris, they were coming, they looked at Mother Sita and she said, she is extremely beautiful. And another one said, no, no, she is not beautiful. Said, why? Look at her. She has broad eyes. She doesn't have eyes like us. He said, no, 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 she's not at all beautiful. He said, why she's not beautiful? Because she doesn't have a tail like us. We all have tails. She doesn't have a tail. So tail is beauty. She doesn't have tail. So she is not beautiful. So Mother Sita laughed. She had such a joyful time. All the bandars, they laughed. But this is the arrival of Lord Ram. The Pushpak Viman then rose again. This was the moment. And I want you to again open the eyes of your heart and imagine how that scene would be. As the Pushpak Viman was flying through the sky, there were many rainbows which were formed, and the Pushpak Viman sometimes used to go under the rainbows, under the 7 colors. Sometimes it used to pierce through the rainbows. On both arches of the rainbows, Devatas used to be standing, and they were so happy that Ravana has been killed. They were showering flowers. Some Devatas, some Tumburus, some Vidyadharas, they were blowing conches. They were blowing beautiful musical instruments. Some were showering flowers. In each layer of that Indra Dhanush or the rainbow, in each layer, the Devatas were wearing the cloth which was matching that color of that layer of that rainbow. The flowers which were showered upon were having the same color. So different colors were falling down. The monkeys were looking spectacularly. They were looking at the skies and they were looking at the showers. And at that same time, they were looking below the trees for a very strange reason. They were giving fruits and they were not bending down. They were looking up so that fruits and very nice juicy fruits could be scooped up by the Vanaras and they could eat. Just like our first class and our business class, you get meals also in the aircraft. So there were meals. All this idea came from there. So there were meals also. They were scooping up fruits. They were scooping up tons of fruits because Lord Rama had asked on the way, how many trees are there? All the trees, they should be having flowers in them. And because Sita has to see that there is effulgent, resplendent Ayodhya, she has to see. So all the trees were fully brim with flowers. They were fully blooming with flowers. And they were all bending down at the same time as the Pushpak Viman went. Due to the sonic boom, all the leaves, they started fluttering from the back of the Pushpak Viman. The flowers were anyway being sprinkled. The leaves was getting sprinkled. The Vanaras were holding their tails but scooping the fruits, but they were eating at the same time, not able to chew because of the speed. And Mother Sita was enjoying. They did not know whether to look at Mother Sita. They did not know whether to look at their own wives. They did not know to look at their fortune of traveling in that Pushpak Viman. They were so enamored by the whole trip. And then the Pushpak Viman got down at Bharadwaj ashram. Bharadwaj said, you have a special booking here, 3 days, 2 nights. Why don't you stay here? I want to speak to you about many things. And this is your return. Lord Ramchandra was constantly looking at each other because time is getting up. Because time is not going to stop. And this time is running out. And this time is very important because this is the time. Yes. And this is the time that Bharata is actually waiting. And he will not wait even 1 minute. He will jump into the funeral pyre. So Lord Rama was constantly listening to Bharadwaj. Then he called Hanuman and he said, you know what? This Pushpak Viman is very slow. Imagine it's flowing at the speed of mind. He's saying, this Pushpak Viman is very slow. Why don't you go faster? Why don't you fly faster? There were at times Hanuman used to fly in front of the Pushpak Viman, carrying the Pushpak Viman, just like how the Lord carried Garuda. Now you might be thinking that how is Lord carrying Garuda? Garuda carries the Lord. Because when Garuda appeared in the battlefield, when Naga Pasha was sent by Ravana and Meghnad, Garuda was sitting in Vaikunta and he was thinking, I should intervene now. Because all the snakes have attacked Lord Ramchandra and it has coiled them. And he nudged one more personality next to him. Who was that? Jatayu. Because Jatayu had already reached Vaikunta by that time. So he nudged Jatayu and said, Jatayu, why don't you go and help? Jatayu said, no, this is your chance. He said, I can't go. I can't go right now because if I go before him, he will chastise me. Why did you come? I'm playing the role of a human being. Why did you come? Lord Rama is going to chastise me, so I cannot go. Jatayu said, you go. He will not chastise you. He said, no, he will chastise me, so I'm not going to go. He said, if he chastises you, then remind him that just like this eagle Garuda, there was another vulture which was named Jatayu. And though Jatayu was killed by Ravana, he does not get liberation. But it is you, my Lord, who kept him on the lap and who gave the funeral pyre and said, Gacha moksham Jatayu. Oh, Jatayu, I give you liberation, go. So if he chastises you and says, I am not the Lord, I am just a human being. Because Garuda came and he offered obeisances and started saying the mantras that you are Narayan himself. And then Lord Ramchandra was showing his eyes and said, don't say all this. I am doing a perfect drama here. Garuda, keep quiet. Atmanam Manusham Manye Dasharatha Atmajaha. I am just a Manushya who is the son of Dasharatha. I am not any Lord. But Dasharatha said, I know the truth. Jatayu told me. If you are just the simple human being, like how you portray to be, how can you send a Jatayu who was killed by a demon who is not capable of getting liberation because he is killed by a demon? How did you send him to liberation? You said. So Lord Rama was smiling. This Garuda knows the truth. He said, but please depart. So Garuda had to depart. So that Garuda, who is a swift carrier of the Lord, was one day when Gajendra was in trouble, the Lord jumped from Vaikunta. And when he was going, his Uttari fell down. Lakshmi was asking, where are you going? He was saying, Gajam. He said, Ga in the Vaikunta, Jam. He jumped in front of Gajendra. And he wanted to use his chakra, but there was no chakra. The chakra was slow. Sudarshana was slow. And he wanted to come on Garuda. Garuda was slow. So he took Sudarshan Chakra, he took Garuda, and the Lord traveled faster. And he, as if he was dragging both of them, he dragged both of them, came in front of Gajendra. He used the Chakra. Chakra was still delaying, having 2 seconds. Then Chakra came. Then positioning of Garuda came under his feet. And then the Lord appeared in a nice selfie pose where Gajendra could see and lift his particular lotus flower. So the Lord is the most fastest. And that Lord got captured by Mother Yashoda. So we should think about Damodar also this time. So that Lord told Hanuman, you are the fastest. So please go ahead. And on the way, you will meet Guha. Tell him I'm coming. Here Bharadwaj was talking. So please imagine this scene. One side, one camera focusing on that hut where Lord Ram was seated, and this conversation is happening. How you vanquish, how nice Rama, what you have to do. Lord Rama is really on tender hooks. He really want to go right now. The Vanaras are twiddling their thumbs, looking at their tails, looking what is next, when is Ayodhya, where to come. Mother Sita is also enjoying this, but she also knows the heart of Lord Ram. The time is up. It is time to go. Our time is also up. I have only 8 minutes. So this time calculation is going on here. At the same time, there, the camera pans. Bharata feels he is not going to come. He is not going to arrive today. He tells Shatrughna, light the fire. The Ayodhya Vasis are crying. They were waiting. Another camera zooming on Ayodhya Vasis. They were all looking at the skies, looking at the roads, all the elephants. They had sprinkled water. They had kept the lamps ready. None of them were lit because they could not see Lord Ram. And they were looking at the time and they were looking at their sand clocks. But there was no mention of Lord Ramchandra, no sight of Lord Ramchandra. And Hanuman came to Guha. Guha was waiting with his boats and there was no sight of Lord Ramchandra. He got down. Hanuman narrated the whole Ramayana again to Guha. Guha was happy. He started arranging things. And he said, Hanuman, okay, wait, I will also come. He said, I don't have time. I have to run. I have to go to Bharata because he will jump into the fire. And Hanuman took a leap and he was traveling through the sky. At that time, the funeral pyre was lit and he was about to jump into that. As Bharata took the decision, he offered the flowers to the Padukas. As he was offering the flowers to the Padukas, Lord Ramchandra there, he paid his Anjali to Bharadwaja and said, now it's time for me to go. Please give me your blessings. He said, you will have full coronation. Please go to Ayodhya. He alighted on the Pushpak Viman. He told Pushpak Viman, go triple the speed. Put your sixth gear. Go fastest as you can. Because Maruti would have reached, but I don't want 1 second of delay. Go in the speed of mind, 3 times the speed of mind, and reach there. So the Pushpak Viman was flying. The flowers were absolutely going berserk in the sky. There was a rainbow of flowers. There were rainbow of leaves. There were rainbow of fruits. And sometimes a slow-mo, if you take, the monkeys were holding their hats. Their salivas were touching each other's saliva as the speed was going. They were holding on for their lives, but they were having the best roller coaster joyride that they ever could get. And as Bharata was going to jump into the pyre, Hanuman jumped right in front of him and embraced him. And they all took up the arms. They did not know, maybe he's a demon, but then they looked at, he was saying, Jai Shri Ram. And he narrated the whole story and said, how can you jump? There are still 5 hours and 40 minutes left. There are 13 Naikas left. One Naika is 24 minutes. You can do the math. There are 13 Naikas left and you are jumping into the pyre. This is not the time. And he started narrating the whole Ramayana, how he went and what happened and all the full Ramayana, Aranyakand, everything, Valis, Vada, Vibhishana, Pattabhishek, winning of the Lanka. He mentioned everything, but Bharata was crying, holding the Padukas. And then he asked, oh Hanuman, you're saying all this, but where is my brother? Where is my brother? I can't see him. And Hanuman said, look above. And as he said, look above, the Pushpak Viman had already started coming down. Ayodhya Vasis, they were absolutely jubilant. They were so happy that they started lifting their turbans. They started throwing them in the sky. They were throwing all the rose water in the sky. They were hugging each other. Sometimes the Prabhus did not know whom they were hugging, but they were absolutely hugging the elephant, hugging the trees, hugging the ground. They were throwing leaves in the sky. They were throwing flowers in the sky. Sometimes they threw the lamps also in the sky. But the most effulgent lamp was arriving in the sky. Kausalya came running. Kaikeyi came running. Mantra, there was a board. Mantra is banned from these festivities. So Mantra did not come, but she was also there behind. And then all the people of Ayodhya, they were also coming. But this was in Nandigram, where Lord Ram immediately alighted down. And Bharata was so happy to meet the Lord. The Lord, before coming to Bharata, he actually got down at Guha and he also met Guha and he also took bath in Ganges. And he changed his robes and he came like a king in front of Bharata. And the Lord Ram had said, Hanuman, look at the face of Bharata when you narrate the whole story. If the face of Bharata even changes a little bit, if there is a frown, if there is a thinking, why Lord Ram is coming back? I would like to enjoy the kingdom. Do let me know. Come back and do let me know. Because I will detour my Pushpak Viman and I will not land at Ayodhya. Let Bharata rule Ayodhya. I'll go back to the forest. So Hanuman was eagerly looking at the face of Bharata if there is any blemish, if there is any thought, if there is any difference. And he jumped back into the sky where Pushpak Viman was in the air, and he told Lord Rama, I couldn't find any blemish. I couldn't find any frown. Your brother is the most pure. Lord Rama said, I love my brother the most, that is Bharata. Now imagine Lakshmana is just standing there. He went through all the ordeal, and here is Bharata. Why? Because Lakshmana served the Lord, whereas Bharata served the paraphernalia of the Lord. More Priya, more loving to Bharata is Shatrughna, because he served the devotee of the Lord, which is Bharata. So the Lord alighted, and they were both crying. Their tears were shed, and they were both drenching in each other's tears. And it was as if a hungry man got food after many, many years. It was as if a sleepless man got sleep at the end. It was as if somebody who had lost something had regained something in his life. The joy was unimaginable. And along with Bharata and Shatrughna, the Lord swiftly arrived in Ayodhya. So this is the most swift arrival. So when we see the arrival of the Lord in Ayodhya, after so many years, we can remember this pastime, how the jubilation would have been, how it would have been. So in my young days, I just have one more minute, so with that I will conclude. So in my young days, I once went to a movie, and this movie was in Malayalam movie back in 1992, 93. Back in those days, they used to make good spiritual movies as well. I mean, like Ramanand Sagar and many others. So there was one poem which I learned, which was sung by a popular, this is a film song, but it matches the Kamban's description. What I spoke today is there in Valmiki, but it is more beautiful in Kamban Ramayana, how beautifully he arrived and Hanuman jumped. But music plays a very important part in shaping our imaginations, in transporting us to the places that we would like to see. Music, and especially all kinds of music, gives us imageries. And that is why music was created in this way, that it can tell us Katha, Ganam, Natyam, Gamanam, Vamshi, Priya Sakhi. It can tell us the stories. That's why dramas use music. Sankirtan. Kirtan uses the musical instruments, and songs use musical instruments because it gives us clear, distinct imageries. And whatever I spoke about, I'll just try it. I'm not a good singer. Here, Sukar, Krishna Prabhu, and many others are there who can sing very nicely. But I'm not here a singer. But when I saw in that movie this particular verse, and it was comparing with Kamban's Ramayana, I could really understand that this is how the Pushpak Viman went. And I would like to present that in my own very croaking toad-like voice. And with that, we will try to end. So while you listen to this, if you can, imagine the imagery of that Pushpak Viman, which we just spoke about, flying through the air, Hanuman being told, Bharata being jumping into the fire, jumping in front of Hanuman, Lord taking bath in Ganga, Hanuman jumping in front of Bharata, embracing him, protecting him from the fire, and the coronation of Lord Rama. All this will be spoken in just a few verses, but you will be able to imagine it if it is sung nicely. But I am not a good singer again. My humble apologies of not singing it, but this is how it will look like. So open up the eyes of your heart. The song goes like this. Sari sa sa sari sa sa sari sa sari sa ri 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 ni ri ri madani sa ri ga ri 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 ga ri 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 ga ri ri ga ri ga ga ri ri ga ga ri ri sa ri ga ma pa da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa da pa sa sa da madani sa sari sa sa sari sa sa sari sa sari sa ga ga ri ri ga ga ri. This is how it is flowing. It starts slow, but it then, Lord Rama says that please go, sari sa sa sari sa sari sa sa sari sa. It's going over the ocean, it's going over the mountains, the waves are tremming along. What's happening? Indra Dhanush Dhanitya Deva Galadi Nama Gangayadi Raghupati Rama Jayam Shri Rama Jayam. Indradhanush. All the beautiful rainbows are there. All the devatas, they are standing, they are showering flowers, they are showing the lamps. Indradhanushgal nitiya devagal adinama. They are all singing Adinama. They are all singing the beautiful, wonderful names of Lord Rama. Gangayadi. That means he's taking bath in Ganga. Raghupati Rama Jayam, Shri Rama Jayam. While the Vishpak Viman is moving, all these are being hurried by the poet. He's saying, Bharata is going to jump. Please come quickly. Shri Bharada Vakya Mindu Chudi Sodara Paduka Puja Ilatma Padam Pranavam Vidarno Lanyu Lanyu. At the same time, if you span the cameras towards Bharata, he's fully immersed with the flowers in his hand, Sarayu water in his hand, and he's pouring it on the Padukas, and he's fully immersed in singing the glories of the Lord. Indradhanushgal nitiya devadayadi nama gangayadi Raghupati Rama Jayam Shri Rama Jayam Shri Bharada Vakyam Bindu Chudi Sodara Paduka Puja Ilatma Padam Pranavam Vidarnu Lanyu Lanyu Sarayuvil. At the same time, at the Sarayu Tira, all the sages are singing mantras. Mantra Madanga Taranga Sugam Saravega Tivra Tala Megi. All these people are singing the holy songs because he is going to jump into the fire. At that time, what happens? Sodara Paduka Puja Ilatma Padam Pranavam Vidarnu Lanyu Lanyu Saravega Tivra Tala Megi Marudiyai. Maruti, the beautiful Maruti, he just jumped and he just came. So that even the alap is given in such a way, Marutiya, and he came and he just embraced Bharata. And then what happened? Galaganda Dupa Deepa Deepa Kalayai Mandra Yandra Tandra Kalida Munaru Sama Veda Gana Modu Unaru Rama. All the deepas were shown by Ayodhya Vasis. All the gandha, which was the beautiful fragrance, was shown by Ayodhya Vasis. Dhupa was shown by Ayodhya Vasis. And Lord Rama was seated on the throne. And the beautiful mukut was brought by Vashishta and he gave. And along with the Sama Vedas, everybody said, Jai Sri Ram. And such a coronation happened just 2 days back. So we are extremely fortunate to witness this in front of our eyes. And we are extremely fortunate to Sri Ram Lalla for giving us this beautiful vision. So all glories to Valmiki, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, who has introduced the Sankirtan Yajna amongst us, which can give us such big, beautiful imageries of the Lord. So Katha, when we read along with Sankirtan, these two are not different. We can imagine, and this opens up our eyes. So I wish each and every devotee a very, very happy welcoming of Lord Ram in your hearts. Let's read Ramayana. Let's not read Ramayana only when there is Ram Navami. Let's read it every single time. And let's enjoy the presence of Lord Ramchandra. Thank you so much for your patient hearing. And apologies for the bad singing. But thank you very, very much, each and every one of you. Yadatras kalitam kinchit vidham sat purayantu tat. Yadatrat saushtubam kinchit tad guru revame nahi. If there are anything that you found good, all the glories go to my spiritual master and Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada and Valmiki Ramayana and all the acharyas and Shiksha Gurus who wrote about Ramayana, especially from the Sri Vaishnava Sampradayas like Ramanujacharya, M. Bermanar, Govindaraja, and also Vedanta Deshika, and every one of them. And all glories to the poet who wrote this. His name was Kaidapram. It was a film song, but then it can still bring out the emotions. And all glories to all acharyas. It goes to them. And if you found some mistakes, those are truly mine. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai Jagat. Thank you so much. Back to you, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Hare Krishna. If you have any questions, comments, we can discuss.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. What a beautiful class. We were able to see whole scene in front of our eyes, how Lord Rama is taking everybody in airplane and how monkeys were about to fall on their trying to hold very tightly everything, how Hanuman came and rescued Bharata from jumping into the fire. And then how again Lord Rama came, how coronation happened, how it's so beautiful, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such a beautiful class, for bringing Rama into our heart. Thank you so much for the Nectarian class. There are a lot of raised hands. Kitida Mataji, please go ahead with your question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Dandavat
Dandavat Mataji.
pranams. What
Dandavat.
should I say, Prabhu? Ayyo, such a wonderful session.
Jai Shri Ram.
I also want to say that I was hesitating to say.
I've
Your
never,
class
I'm
and everybody is missing. So many people missing it. Please come and listen and welcome Rama to your heart. Hari Bol Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, so Prabhuji, I never used this word, but today I really got the real meaning of this word, because whenever I hear, it's always in the bad sense. Today, it completely makes good sense of it. Very, very wonderful session, Prabhu, and really like your singing as well. You really helped us envision the entire pastime, and you made us glued at one place. That was so wonderful. It was such a excellent session, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Thank you for your association. I don't have any question. I just want to bring up this and glorify your class. Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranams.
Thank you, Mataji, for your kind words. All glory to Prabhupada.
Sukha Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Unmute
Sukha
yourself,
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Prabhu, you can unmute Sukha Krishna Prabhu. Yes.
It was actually, I couldn't unmute, that's why I was trying. They locked me. No problem. Thank you, Vinita Mataji. Prabhu, you did so wonderful. You see, you don't sing, but you sang nicely. And Kaidaparam Nambudri is such a wonderful person. He has come to Dubai when my daughter was there. She got first prize also of so many people. He's a good singer. And നിങ്ങൾ നല്ലോണം പാടി നിങ്ങൾ തമിഴും പാടുന്നുണ്ട് മലയാളം പാടുന്നു both you're good. So I was so happy. So that the Ayyo also is a very good point that it is not Ayyo means only bad. Ayyo actually the name of Yamaraja's wife.
Yeah.
If somebody says Ayyo, then Yamaraja comes. Who is calling my wife's name? So those who are doing Ayyo, they will go to Yamalok.
Yes.
So wonderful, Prabhu. Thank you. And that is good. Ramayana yesterday was 2 days back, 22nd and 24th. Yesterday also was the Gada was also fantastic. So, Valra Sandosham, Nandi, and Jai Sri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you to everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Vasundhara Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Wow.
Pranam.
Just beautiful. Thanks for picturizing the incident of the arrival of Sri Ram. It just registered in the memory, Prabhuji. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, I just need a small clarity, please.
Yes.
What we have heard earlier in the sessions of Ramayana, when Rama, Lakshmana and Sita Devi proceed for exile,
Yes.
then Bharata, after hearing the news, he proceeds towards the same path.
Yeah.
And Lakshman, seeing Bharat with the entire entourage of the army, etc., he thinks that he might have come to attack and all that stuff. But
True.
Rama knows the mind of Bharat, and he says, absolutely no, I know Bharat. So it's not for that. Please be patient. So then we understand the exchanges between Bharat and Ram and all that stuff. So Bharat understands the mind of, Ram understands the mind of Bharat. And in fact, there was also a kind of a statement made by the Acharyas that whatever Lakshmana had the ill feelings towards Bharat, it was basically a Vaishnava offense. For that, he again kind of, he repents for all that stuff. But today, when we heard you saying that, when Lord Ram sends Hanuman first, and he also indicates that if you see a frown in the face of Bharat, let me know. I wouldn't want to come back. So how to understand this, Prabhuji? Because Ram understands the mind of Bharat very well, because we already seen this incident earlier, right? So today it was a different kind of statement that Ram makes to Hanuman. So could you please clarify this, Prabhuji? If my question is weird, not relevant, please excuse me.
No, it is very
Hare
relevant, Mataji. This is very relevant. And I would like your participation here. Have you ever planted a Tulsi tree, Mataji, or a Tulsi sapling?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And when you plant a Tulsi sapling, after some days, the sapling will grow. And then it will become a Tulsi nice bush and a tree. the shrub will grow.
Mhm.
How do you test whether the shrub is very firm in the soil or not? Whether she has expressed her depth and grip onto the soil, how do you test?
I have very basic layman knowledge, Prabhuji.
Mm.
The root, the stem, they change the color. Like, earlier it would be soft. Of course, both the texture as well as the color. The texture initially would be very, very soft. And later, as it grows, it is like, stable. Then you see it becomes hard, the stem, the main stem, I mean. And then the
How
color
do
of the
you
main stem.
how do you test the strength of the stem?
You just press the stem, Prabhuji.
Very nice.
It's really hard. It's not
You
soft as it was earlier. Number one. Number two, it
correct.
doesn't move, Prabhuji. When there is a slight blow of the wind or something, it doesn't move as fast as it used to earlier. Number three is that the color of the stem would have changed from the light green to dark green to brownish. Sorry,
Absolutely,
Prabhuji.
yes.
These are the small things I understand and I've noticed.
No, these are perfectly right. The most important, which you said, that they will not move. The stem would be very strong. So you will check if the stem is very strong, right? And then you will get to know that the stem is very strong. Very similarly, Lord Ramchandra wanted to showcase to the world that because of the padukas and the pujas that he has done, Lord Bharata has to be showered with something back. I don't know what to shower. And I know he will not ask for anything. He will give me back the kingdom. He knew the heart, but he wanted to showcase the world how detached is my devotee. So he told
Amazing.
Hanuman that you shake and see, but you will get to know that he is very firm in his devotion. So that was an
Wow.
act not to insult Bharata, but actually to showcase the fame of Bharata to others.
Hari
So
bol.
that is the
Okay.
reason, Mataji. Hare
So
Krishna.
sweet, so sweet. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mataji.
And with the analogy, I'll remember forever. Thank you so
you.
much. Thank you so much.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Alladanand Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Mataji. And then pranam to all. And Prabhuji, Hari Varya Das, Prabhuji, your name
Hare
is
Krishna.
so saturated with Hari Bhakti that, you can infiltrate in our heart Ram Bhakti. My simple question is, which version gives such a great detail and Amrit in your opinion, Prabhuji? I want myself to read and my sons to also to read. So which one would you recommend, or which one is the most dear to you to read, either in English or Hindi, like that?
I have whatever Ramayana I have taken, all of them are wonderful.
Right.
Ramcharitmanas has got its own beautiful verses at times when Lakshmana meets Parashuram, or Kevat pastime, etc. are the most beautiful in Ramcharitmanas.
So this is in Hindi, Prabhuji?
This is in Avadhi Bhasha, and this is a little.
But the script is in Hindi. Can I read them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can read them as Chaupai, and you can read them very well. It's like your Hanuman Chalisa kind of a meter.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
that you can.
That I can.
Yeah, same like how you have been hearing the Ramanand Sagar Chaupais, right?
Right.
Okay,
so that's the best version.
Mangal Hari
Hari.
Prabhu Suras Rat Ach Rabihari. This way it follows the Chaupai. And it is very wonderful to see some part of it. Kamban, what to say about Kamban Ramayana? You can read it in English. That is also very wonderful and beautiful. In fact, Narsimhadev himself appeared in the Stamba in Rangaraj temple in Srirangam, and he approved of Kamban's Ramayana. And even a dead person came back to life listening to Kamban's Ramayana, and that is how all the Ganapatis and everybody said Kamban's Ramayana is genuine. So this version that I spoke about is partly Valmiki and most in Kamban. Kamban's Ramayana in Tamil. So I can send you the PDFs, Prabhu. Your children and
sure,
can read and relish
I'll
them.
be so grateful. Could you put this in our Bhakti Sanga Or
I don't know
you
about
need?
copyrights, so I will
I
send
see.
it to you one-on-one. So I don't know.
How would you be able to? Do you need my email, or how do you send it?
I will send it to Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. She will send it to you, bro.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. So grateful. Thank you very much. Haribol,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Yeah, Sukaka Krishna Prabhu have one more question, but we will take Sumi Ravi Mataji's and then we'll come back to Sukaka Krishna Prabhu. Sumi Ravi Mataji, please go ahead.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is, I mean, really, I don't know what to say. This is just glorification. I don't have any doubt. I don't think I understand to that extent as to have a doubt. Anyway, and Prabhuji, this was not a talk by you. Please, this was a movie. It's like the olden days when they just, there's a round thing with the reels inside. They keep moving it and the scenes move. And the Madri, with your words, you were moving the movie forward. And then you brought it to the climax also. There again, you said, hold your visions there. And this side, the Pushpak Viman is going, that side, Bharata is going to jump. And Bhardwaj Muni is trying to drag the proceedings by talking there. You really, it was like you brought us to the edge of the sea. I mean, of course, we do know the Ramayana story. Otherwise, you would have left us wondering, oh my God, what's going to happen? So it was that good, Prabhuji. It was really, really good. And again, like I don't know if I told this earlier, quite often when we come to this talk, like a Srimad Bhagavatam class, you come with the idea that you're going to listen to Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. But then the Prabhujis or Matajis who give that talk, they give some references to some other things wherein we want to go back and refer, Google or somewhere and just read that thing also. And so it enhances our learning or maybe broadens or deepens or something. Similarly, now I unfortunately my mother tongue is Tamil, but I haven't read Kambaramayana. So now I will go and read it. So you have kindled pada onnu vaangina onnu free mari onnu vaangina 10 20 free kadaikkadhu in all these talks. So
please.
I'll go back and read it. And the song, you were not croaking like a toad, Prabhuji. Close our eyes, we could hear Jai Chandran or MG Srikumar or someone. So it was good. It was wonderful, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mata.
Basically, you just had us tied down, just sitting like a statue, closing eyes, and the scenes going in front of us. It was just beyond description. Haribol, Prabhuji. Haribol.
Thank you, Mata.
Dandot
Jai
Pranams.
Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. All glories to Lord Ramchandra. All glories to the holy name.
Thank you, Sumi Ravi Mataji. Thank you for speaking for all of us. Thank you. Preeti Vilasni Mataji, please go ahead.
I think she's not able to unmute. That's good fortune of mine. If she would have not told me to speak here, I would have not come. So thank you so much. My Dandot Pranams to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Such a beautiful class. Like everybody said, it was like watching a movie, and you kept us all gripped. I lost connection 4 times, and I was so desperate to get back. I was getting back in so many different devices, and I did miss a few portions, and I felt so bad. But the class was really, really beautiful. Thank you. First of all, I just wanted to tell everybody. This week's series, we didn't even plan for it originally, but it all happened because of Haridas Varya Prabhu's wishes and his inspiration. He actually kept following up. He made sure that it is just not a single day, but it's an entire week. So I'm so grateful to you, Prabhu. If not for you giving us that push, I don't think we would have had all this nectar throughout the week. So thank you so much. And thank you for embellishing today's entire day with your beautiful nectarian class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Unfortunately, our internet speeds are not as fast as Pushpak Viman.
Totally. Because during the Pushpak Viman, I think right when you finished singing a few and then you started explaining again, I lost connection. So definitely not as fast as the Pushpak Viman.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you, Preeti Vilasni Mataji. Manmohan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandvat Pranam.
Dandvat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, like now everybody has said, so it was just so scintillating. Like it tonight, I think I'm going to dream Lord Shri Ram and all the stories
Right.
which you have related, it's like, it's not gonna let me sleep. Like, it was so good. It was so beautiful. And just I want to say Jai Shri Ram to you and all the devotees. Jai Shri
Yeah.
Ram.
Yeah, Shri Ram. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Now our dear Sukha Krishna Prabhu will speak. Go ahead, Prabhu.
Thank you, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. So I don't feel like stopping so much glorification everywhere. Still, I feel like doing. But what I can see in the Ramayana, everybody is doing a sacrifice only. Bharat, he didn't want to have no interest in Lakshmana. He left his wife and he wanted to just be with his brother. Urmila, he said, no, you go and help. Sumitra, she said, no, before Lakshmana was worried how my mother will feel. She said, no, you must be like your father. So like that. So we can say everybody is a sacrifice only being done. And today you made the conclusion such a way that this song you sent me also. I want this song because it's so good. It's having so much of meaning and you make a big scene. And all that what you're sending to Prabhu, I will request Vinita Mataji to give me also. Because Ramayana people don't see so much, especially ISKCON. They're more interested in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. But all your this one and actually the Gadadhar class also, I started liking Ramayana. I want to go through Ramayana now. So nice. Jai Sri Ram. And this Modi's thing is going to make a big change. Kali Yuga's 10,000 years are coming, golden years now. The whole world will start chanting because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is there. Yeah.
Yes. Mercy of Chaitanya is there. So this is Sankirtan moment where we are all, and Srila Prabhupada has to be always remembered that Srila Prabhupada gave us the purports in Srimad Bhagavatam where condensed form of Lord Ramchandra and his pastimes are mentioned. Victory to Jai Shri, victory to Rama and death to Ravana. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Yesterday also I got this one, Adigadar Prabhu, whether Ram had told Kaikeyi that, you help me, I want to, if all are so much wanting me to become the king. And so then Adigadar Prabhu said, yes, that may be true, but for the, to get the rasa, we will think that she was a bad lady only. But yeah, actually,
she was a bad lady. This need not be given by anybody else because Bharata himself, he came back and gave her a bunch of bad words and said, you are a bad lady. So Valmiki says, we don't have to take lawyers to defend. Bharata came back and said, you are the worst woman. I don't want to be with you. And he went to Nandigram. So we take Bharata's words, who is her own son, and we take those words. So I often say this, a foreign lady coming from outside and ruling the kingdom is not a very new procedure. It has been there from long time.
Sonia Gandhi.
No, I'm not saying anything political. Hare Krishna.
Because let's say Padmini Mataji also has told that she heard that this was the real thing, that Rama only wanted this job. Otherwise, he can never go and kill Ravana and all. He'll be stuck. So his purpose was to go with Vishwamitra and all. So I don't know, I have not heard anywhere, but it may be somewhere, somebody would have expert comment would have been given, So anyway, everything is even everybody is a Leela only, because they are actually Vaikunthas.
Yes.
So I think Krishna teaches us through his own people all the things. Yes. We cannot say Daksha is bad, he is bad. They want to show us
everybody is playing their part and we
drama
take
to show us. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Nalni romba sandosham. Tamil Malayalam mixed it. Next time Kannada I want to see next. Namaskara. Dhanyavadagalu. Shubharatri. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, thank you so much. Hare Krishna, thank you. Yes, Prabhu, as you said, Srila Prabhupada books are very, very grateful. We have, because yes, the other day I wanted Vrinda, my daughter, to read about Rama because it's all, everybody is celebrating something they're doing from their path. So I thought, okay, where from I have to make her read. We have in Veda base also, but then I thought some small she can read. Then I told her to open the canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and read the translations at least so that she can remember Rama at this moment. Thank you, Prabhuji, and thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for giving us this Srimad Bhagavatam, where at least we can know the glimpse of Lord Rama in there. Yeah,
Thank you.
of course, when you read Valmiki Ramayana, you will know in detail. Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much for such
Thank
a
you for
beautiful.
all the devotees for their comments on the comment box. All glory to Prabhupada. Thank you for ardent listening. And thank you for the questions. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm about to say about comments only. There are a lot
No,
of
it's okay. It's
yeah,
okay. Enough. I don't
glorification.
want to get proud about it. Thank you very much. All glories to Lord Ram.
Yes, we are very grateful to you once again, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such a great class where we can see in front of us all the past time that you have narrated. Thank you so much. I would like to offer my obeisances to you and all the Vaishnavas assembled on the call. Vancha kalpatarobhyasya kripa sindhu
Vaishnavebhyo
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki
Radha
jai.
ki
Jai.
Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji ki.
Ki
Jai
Jai.
Ho
Krishna
So
Prabhu
much.
ji, Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna.
Gauranga
Nityananda.
Nityananda
Hare Krishna, Dhamma
Nityananda